There have always been a few initiates in each generation, in the various lands of the earth, who kept alive the sacred wisdom of the Tehuti teachings, Haka, as it was called, and such have always been willing to use their minds to reteach the lesser minds of the outside world about the darkness of truth great in them, and put out the blinding light of the torch-bearer, Lucifer, that spread its brightest through faiths and beliefs. A light that is lit, cut on, ignited, but does and did not always exist as dark. Calling light, knowledge is a fact, for knowledge is simple to know something, and things happen with the light, but true existence is the pure state in which light is cut off, which created the reason to neglect facts, and when the wicks became dim with foreign matter such as religious beliefs. There were always a few who tend to the altar of the truth, facts, keepers of the temple, upon which was kept the secrets, the perpetual truth of existence before the light. These beings devoted their lives to the labor of love, which the poet has so well stated in his lines. Oh, let the flame die out, its light blinds. Cherished age after age in its darkness, in which deity dwelled before saying let there be light, in its holy temples cherished. Fed by pure keepers of love, let the flame die out, the chaos. These men and women have never sought popular approval, they were always hated, called cults of all kinds. They are indifferent to these things, for they know how few there are in each generation who are ready for the real truth. But now the time has come for Sehu, mummy, to get up out of the Nebonk sarcophagus of religion. Many of them hide in everyday life, acting like all others, going to synagogues, churches, mosques, acting like the best of Muslims, Christians or Jews, but keeping the secrets sacred in their heart until just the right time. And now is that time to confer this to those mummies and let them claim their rightful throne, who would recognize the truth if it were presented to them. They reserve the strong minds while others furnish the milk for babes. They reserve their pearls of wisdom for the few elect, who want the pure honey, who recognize their value and who wear them in their Nemuzot headdresses, instead of casting them before the materialistic worshippers, the Hekakasut, Hyksos of today, cursed seed of Canaan, who would trample the truth about the ancient Egyptians in the mud and mix them with their disgusting metal food, religions. These men have never forgotten or overlooked the original teachings of Tehuti, regarding the passing on of the words of truth to those ready to receive it. They become Hebrews, Christians or Muslims, just await the time to give the real truth, Nuwapu, which teachings is stated in the sacred records of Adam Ray, also called the Black Book, the holy tablets, as follows: only a fool ducks when the truth is thrown at them. And again, I came giving you what you want so you would learn to want what I have to give. But their customary attitude has always been strictly in accordance with the other Egyptian teachings, also in the sacred records of Tama Ray, also called the Gold Book. This I know. There are those who have criticized this attitude of the ancient Egyptian order, and who have claimed that they did not manifest the proper spirit in their policy of seclusion and reticence. But a moment's glance back over the pages of time will show the wisdom of the masters, who knew the folly of attempting to teach to the world that which it was neither ready or willing to receive. No, we did not worship the rock or stone of the statues of our ancestors or rulers, but rather who and what they mean and meant to us. The ancient Egyptian order have never sought to be martyrs, and have, instead, sat silently aside and inside other religions with a pitying smile on their closed lips, while the religious fools raged noisily about them, claim they know Yahweh, Jah, God or Allah, and have the truth, in their customary amusement of putting to death and torture of the honest but misguided enthusiasts, who imagine that they could force upon a cursed seed of barbarians the truth, capable of being overstood only by the elect, Nuwapu, who had advanced along the path of the 3 degrees of ignorance, Mosesism, Christism, Mohammedism, and the many sects they preach, and move on past this mysticism and fictions for the truth. And the spirit of persecution has not as yet died out in the land they dwelt. There are certain ancient Egyptian order teachings, which, if publicly promulgated, would bring down upon the teachers a great cry of scorn and revilement from the multitude, who would again raise the cry of cult. In this little work I have endeavored to give you an idea of the fundamental doctrines of the ancient Egyptian order, striving to give you the working teachings, leaving you to apply them yourselves, rather than attempting to work out the teaching in detail. If you are a true student, you will be able to work out and apply these doctrines. If not, then you must develop yourself into one, for otherwise the ancient Egyptian order teachings will be as words to you. The 4 supreme grand hierophants, masters, Pa-Neter Khnum, Knumis, Pa-Neter Anubu, Anubis, Pa-Neter Khonsu, Khenshu, and Pa-Neter Tehuti, Thoth, known as the 4 winds. The All is, I am. The All is the physical, the existence, the definite article, substantial reality. Substance means that which underlies all outward manifestations, substance, person, places, things, the essence, the essential reality, the thing in itself, etc. Substantial means actually existing, being the essential clement, being real. Reality means the state of being real, true, enduring, valid, fixed, permanent, actual. under and behind all outward appearances or manifestations, there must always be a substantial reality. This is the law. Mortals, considering the universe, of which they are a unit, sees nothing but change in matter, forces, and mental states. They see that nothing or no one thing is all things. Not one thing or one God really is all things is one, not thing, just all, everything is becoming and changing. Nothing stands still, everything is being born, growing, dying, the very instant a thing reaches its height, it begins to decline into another state of existence. The law of rhythm is in constant operation. There is no reality, enduring quality, fixity, or substantiality in anything. All things are permanent, but change. Yet, never gone in mental and physical is one state vibrating at different speeds. They see all things evolving from other things, and resolving into other things, yet they all exist. Nothing is totally gone. If so, where do they go? A constant action and reaction, inflow and outflow, building up and tearing down, creation and destruction. And even destruction means to destroy, not to eliminate, and to remove means simply to move again, birth, growth and death. At death it's not over. Over means above, that's all. Nothing endures but change. And if they are thinking mortals, they realize that all of these changing things must be but outward appearances or manifestations of some underlying power, some substantial reality. All thinkers, in all lands and in all times, have assumed the necessity for postulating the existence of this substantial reality. The all is, and there all became God by many names. All doctrines worthy of the name have been based upon this thought. Mortals have given to this substantial reality many names: Yahweh, Theos, Deus, Allah, Adonia. Some have called it by the term of Supreme Being, under many titles. Others have called it the infinite and eternal energy. Others have called it in still matter and in God in flesh as himself or his own son or personification. But all have acknowledged its existence. It is self-evident, it needs no argument. You exist, so some powerful force by whichever name exists through you. They are your blood seed linked through your family. If you are receiving this information now, then you existed thousands of years ago, in and through your blood seed. In these degrees we have followed the example of some of the world's greatest thinkers. Both ancient and modern Egyptian masters have called this underlying power, this substantial reality, by the Egyptian name of Pa-Temptar, the All, which term I consider the most comprehensive of the many terms applied by mortals to that which transcends names and terms. I accept and teach the view of the great Egyptian thinkers of all times, as well as of those illuminated souls who have reached higher planes of being, both of whom assert that the inner nature of the all is unknowable. Yet, we are in it. So in fact, it's not unknowable at all, but rather very known, as we exist in the all. This must be so, for naught by the all itself can comprehend its own nature and being. And we are in deeds and actions its manifestations. The Egyptians accept and teach that the all in itself is and must ever be unknowable to those who fear the reality that they are a part of God and thus gods themselves. The Egyptians had no problem with this. They regard all the theories, guesses and speculations of the theologians and metaphysicians regarding the inner nature of the all, as but the childish efforts of mortal minds to grasp the secret of the infinite of which they must be a part if they exist. Even if God or a god said puff, and they were created, still they would have had to exist in God's mind and God's being to come into existence. But those blinded by religious light can never see this, but they must. Such beliefs have always failed and will always fail, from the very nature of the task, to try to make a God that exists not exist. Yet we are to believe in this non-existing God, and if we seek to prove it exists on this physical plane, then we become blasphemers. This is truly blindness. One pursuing such inquiries travels around and around in the labyrinth of thought, until she is lost to all sane reasoning, action or conduct, and is utterly unfitted for the work of life, can't face reality. She is like the hamster which frantically runs around and around the circling treadmill wheel of his cage, traveling ever and yet reaching nowhere, at the end a prisoner still, and standing just where she started with no proof. They must teach you, get your answers at death, so that you won't seek to know while you live. And still more presumptuous are those who attempt to ascribe to the all the personality, qualities, properties, characteristics and attributes of themselves, ascribing to the all the human emotions, feelings, and characteristics as their own God, Jesus, Buddha, Mazda, and Krishna. But the Egyptians did not, nor never implied that just a Saru or Kansu or a Moon Ra is the all. No, but rather they are the all as all of them exist, even down to the pettiest qualities of human beings and humankind, such as jealousy, susceptibility to flattery and praise, desire for offerings and worship, and all the other survivals from the days of the childhood of the race. Such ideas are not worthy of grown men and women, and are rapidly being discarded. At this point it may be proper for me to state that we make no distinction between religion and theology, between philosophy and metaphysics. They all deal in hope. Religion, tuus, means intuitional realization of the existence of the all, and one's relationship to the all in all. We ascribe personality, qualities, and characteristics to the all in all as that is us. Theories regarding its affairs, wills, desires, plans, and designs, and their assumption of the office of middleman between the all is the key, and the people must learn to respect the Hierophant, the Wapat, and the Ribat. Philosophy, to us, means the inquiry after knowledge of things knowable and thinkable, but not sure, while metaphysics means the attempt to carry the inquiry over and beyond the boundaries and into regions believed unknowable and unthinkable, yet not and with the same tendency as that of theology. And consequently, both religion and philosophy mean to us things having roots in reality, while theology and metaphysics seem like broken reeds, rooted in the quicksands of ignorance as in monotheistic religions, Mosesism, Christism, Mohammedism, and affording naught but the most insecure support for the mind or soul of man as the very God they worship. We do not insist upon our students accepting these definitions, we mention them merely to show our position. At any rate, you shall hear very little about theology and metaphysics and monotheism in Egyptian teaching. But while the essential nature of the all is knowable, as you, in you, about you, there are certain truths connected with its existence, which the human mind finds itself compelled to accept. And an examination of these reports form a proper subject of inquiry, particularly as they agree with the reports of Pa-Wapat the priests or those on the higher planes. Our vertical lines here on this horizontal link. And to this inquiry we now invite you. That which is the fundamental truth, the substantial reality is not beyond true naming, but the wise called it Pa-Temptar the all. In its essence, the all is knowable. For if you are in the all and you are knowable, then the all is knowable. The human reason, whose reports we must accept so long as we think at all, informs us as follows regarding the all, and that without attempting to remove the veil of the knowable. We need not remove the veil off God, but rather just go up and take the mask and put it on to inherit your responsibility as a child of God and a God yourself. 1. The all must be all that really is. There can be nothing existing outside of the all, else the all would not be the all. Even the all is in all. 2. The all must be in the infinite, as infinite is infinite, for there is nothing else to define, confine, bound, limit or restrict all, but the all has the distinction of being the all, as if there are others, but they are not the one we are talking about. It must be infinite in time and a finite state of time, or eternal. It must have always continuously existed, for there is nothing else to have ever created it, and something can never evolve from nothing, and if it had ever not been, even for a moment it would not be now. It must continuously exist forever, for there is nothing to destroy it, and it can never not be, even for a moment, because something can never become nothing. It must be infinite in space, infinite exists in blackness, infinite, it must be everywhere, for there is no place outside of all. It cannot be otherwise than continuous in space, without break, cessation, separation, or interruption, for there is nothing to break, separate, or interrupt its continuity, and nothing with which to fill in the gaps. It must be infinite in power, or absolute darkness, for there is nothing to limit, restrict, restrain, confine, disturb or condition blackness, but light. Black is far, black is near or night, as nighttime, it is subject to no other power, stronger than black. 3. The all must be immutable, or not subject to change in its real nature. The all has a nature for you or the all in all, as inside all. All is not nature, but has nature moving in it as Hanu, for there is nothing to work changes upon all, but the all can grow within all, nothing into which it could change, nor from which it could have changed. It cannot be added to nor subtracted from, increased nor diminished, nor become greater or lesser in any respect whatsoever. It must have always been, and must always remain, just what it is now, all. There has never been, is not now, and never will be, anything else into which it can change. The all is it, but all can't really be called in it. It is also in all. All being infinite, absolute, eternal and unchangeable, it must follow that anything finite, changeable, fleeting, and conditioned cannot be all, but can happen in all. To say Allah, God is one is it or the all oneness is its or all's. And as there is nothing outside of all, in reality, then any and all such finite things must be as nothing in reality. So their gods does not exist in all. And all is in all, even all these. Now do not become befogged, nor frightened by facts, we are not trying to lead you into anything. This was your way of life, long before monotheism. There is a reconciliation of this apparently contradictory state of affairs. Be patient, we will reach it in time. We see around us that which is called matter, which forms the physical foundation for all forms. Is the all merely matter? Are you just body? Not at all. Mere matter cannot manifest life or mind, and as life is manifested in the universe, mind is unmanifested yet exists in the all and cannot be only matter, for nothing rises higher than its own source, nothing is ever manifested in an effect that is not in the cause, nothing is evolved as a consequent that is not involved as an antecedent. And then modern science informs us that there is really no such thing as matter, quantum physics, that what we call matter is merely interrupted energy or force, that is, energy or force at a low rate of vibration. Why this information needs updating, being written wrong in 1912, then 1940, long before the new realities like the splitting of the atom and antimatter, as well as quarks, and zells. Many things today means the old Kabbalion today is wrong information, misleading many. Matter has melted into mystery. That is, my story, not his story. His story became history. Even material science has abandoned the theory of matter, and now rests on the basis of energy and not a God created this or that. Where is the proof? Is the all mere energy or force? Not energy or force as the materialists use the terms, for their energy and force are blind, mechanical things, devoid of life or mind. Life and mind can never evolve from blind energy or force called light, for the reason being all things originated from and in darkness. Nothing rises higher than its source, nothing is evolved unless it is involved, nothing manifests in the effect, unless it is in the cause, and so the all cannot be mere energy or force, for, if it were, then there would be no such things as life and mind in the human or existence, and we know better than that, because you need both life and mind to comprehend this information, for we are alive and using mind to consider this very question, and so are those who claim that energy or force is everything as their God, wrong. What is there higher than matter or energy that we know to be existent in the universe? Life and mind. Life and mind in all their varying degrees of unfoldment. Then, you ask, do you mean to tell us that all is life and mind? Yes, and no is our answer. If you mean life and mind, as we poor petty mortals know them, we say no. All is not that. But what kind of life and mind do you mean? You ask. The answer is living mind is the all, mind is all, as far above that which mortals know by those words, as life and mind are higher than mechanical forces, or matter infinite living mind as compared to finite life and mind. We mean that which the learnt souls mean when they reverently pronounce the word Ka, spirit. The all is infinite living mind, the life of the spirit. The all is in all. As you are all humans.